Hello everybody, my name is Brandon Red, and if you've never been to this channel, this is Ramen Noodle Budgets, where we try and make things as cheap as we possibly can. Now, I was too lazy and didn't film an intro and conclusion for this video, so I'm just voicing over everything. But if you don't know what's going on, this is part 3 of a 6-part video series where we take these really cheap Walmart Jason masks and turn them into ones seen in the film. So if you guys want to win this part 5 mask, be sure to stay till the end, and then we'll also show the winner of last week's part 4. Start off by taking your super cheap Jason mask and cutting off all of these straps, including any of the gross tags. After that, you're going to want to use some type of masking tape. I use frog tape just because this stuff seems to be super strong. I'm taping it on the inside, and I'm taping off the top 3 holes as well as any of the tag lines and where the straps used to be. I'm then using this wall prepare compound, and I would recommend using like a Bondo or anything else. This is just all I had around in the house, and it's worked pretty well for the last 2 videos, so I liked it a lot. I'm covering up where the taglines were, basically any place where I put the tape, the 2 little nose holes that really are super unnecessary. After that it dries, sand it down with like a 180 to 200 grit sandpaper. Now you can just basically draw out the lines using, or drawing out the new holes using a reference photo, but I've done this twice now, so I just placed one of the other masks on top of it and just drew all the holes. This made it so also that all the masks now from this point on would have very similar hole placements, so they'd actually have some continuity to them. Start off by using a small drill bit to drill any of your pilot holes out. So drill out every single one of the holes using this small bit. It just makes it so the mask doesn't shatter like what just happened in the previous videos. After that, you're going to want to move on to a thicker, I think this is about a 1/4 inch drill bit, and drill out all of your pilot holes, and they should come out super clean. A lot of people were saying that a stepper drill bit would work a lot better, which I'll think about using. I don't know, that means more money to invest on my part. I sanded down the entire mask using 120 grit sandpaper, and then went back to that 1/4 inch drill bit and drilled out the holes for the straps, and then I used I put in those snap rivets or whatever the hell they're called. Don't do the bottom ones though, because this mask does not have those 2 bottom snaps. I then used the almond coat of paint and sprayed it over the entire thing. This mask does not need that yellow blossom glow or paint on top of it, just because it doesn't have that color. I'm then using this kind of light bluish vinyl that I had laying around. I traced it out, the chevron shape, into Photoshop and used my Cricut to cut it out. Now obviously, like I said before, you don't need a Cricut. These are really basic shapes that you can use a ruler and an X-Acto knife to just cut out. I just do it because I have it around and it makes it a lot easier, and they come out super clean. So there are those 2. I measured them up to the mask, make sure they're about the right size. I think I did 3 3/4 inch. I then placed them on the mask. Like I said in the past videos, I don't use transfer tape just because I find it a lot more difficult, and it usually ends up removing a lot of the paint. I placed those down. It took me a few different tries, but that's about the correct placement, or that's pretty much what I ended up liking. I then mixed up a dirty color using some black and some brown, and rubbed that over the entire mask using a damp paper towel. I just really wanted to help get into those cracks I made using sanding earlier, and kind of just add a more dirty look to the entire mask. I then took a paper towel and began to pat it on areas to try and create areas where it looked like the mask was hit a little bit, or just once again more dirty. I didn't sand any areas afterwards with the paint because from what I could tell it really didn't, though the top of the mask does have this kind of, in some photos I've seen from the film, where it looked like there was a chevron on the top that got peeled off, and you can kind of see where that sticker used to be. So I placed some masking tape over that and then patted some paint around it and tried to do just a little bit more weathering on top of that. And once again I went over the entire mask to try and create to blend everything out. I then put a little bit of paint on a brush and tried to dry brush into all the holes to create a little more emphasis onto some areas that, kind of like with the NECA replica mask, they did a very similar thing, so I've been going off of that. After that, I peeled off my tape, and you can see it created that look like, and then I went and rubbed in some paint over that to blend it once again in, make it look like it's been missing for a long time. And that was pretty much the end of the paint job that I ended up really liking. It's a lot more weathered than some photos, but I did like how it looked. I then clear coated the entire thing with a gloss clear coat, and to be more accurate, you should probably use a matte clear coat, but I really like all my masks being gloss. I'm not really sure why. I made the straps exactly the same way as the other videos. Be sure to check those out if you don't know what I'm talking about. I then actually sanded the snaps on the top, and then used a little bit of that black dirty paint we used earlier to try and bring out some of the scratches that we did with the sanding. So you can see this is what the sanding snap looks like. And I put the paint over it and wiped it off and just to create more emphasis on that. And then after that I snapped the mask in and it was done. Once again, I was super happy with how this came out. I think it looks pretty accurate to the film. The chevrons might be a little too light, but then again, this is a mask that isn't Jason, so I didn't mind it too much. So in order to win this Part 5 mask, what you guys gotta do is like this video, be sure to subscribe to the channel, and actually share this video onto any type of social media, and then comment down below. I do know if you guys do all 3 of those things, so, or all 4. The winner of the Part 4 mask goes to Guitar Master 80. Yeah, so be sure to message me on any of the social media down below. I really hope you guys did enjoy this video. Next week on Monday is going to be our Part 6 tutorial, my favorite mask, my favorite movie. So be sure to check that out, and I hope you guys have a great rest of your day.